Hi everybody, I hope you're well and have had a really good week. Today we're going to be looking at folate, which is also vitamin B9, in a little bit more depth. Now, folate is a very important vitamin in the body. It's an essential vitamin, which means that the body cannot make it. It needs to be taken in. So there's different ways in which we can take it into our body, obviously through a healthy diet and food. We'll explore that a little bit more in a minute, and also in supplement form. Folate and the B vitamins are water soluble, and that means that when it passes out of the body regularly in the urine. So it's really important to make sure that we have adequate amounts. Folate, or vitamin B9, is needed in the formation of red blood cells, in the production of DNA and RNA, and is important in cell division. It's also important in lowering, or help to regulate, I should say, levels of homocysteine in the blood, which can become a toxic protein. We'll do a whole section on its own on homocysteine. But going back to folate, it's also really important for helping regulate energy and mood, and also, which you've probably heard more about, in the prevention of neural tube defects. Preconception, well, at least 3 months ideally, but if it's not, just as soon as you can, it's recommended to take 400 micrograms of folic acid per day. Now, I've just mentioned the word folic acid, and so that leads on to the question of what's the difference between folic acid and folate. So folic acid is the synthetic form of vitamin B9. So it's manufactured and it's often put into cereals, certain processed foods, to ensure that people get it in their diet. But it needs to be converted to be used by the body by an enzyme, and this conversion can sometimes be limited. Folate is the naturally occurring version of vitamin B9, and it's most active when it's been converted into the active form of methylfolate. One of the most common gene mutations in the human body is in the enzyme MTHFR, and the function of this is to actually produce methylfolate. So in the article that I've written, I go into this in a little bit more depth, and that will be alongside this video on IVF Babble Prime and IVF Babble. So, which foods naturally contain folate? Well, there's a whole range, okay. Think green leafy vegetables, and you can't go wrong. So spinach, kale, lettuce is a really good form of vitamin B9 as well. Beans, so green beans, kidney beans, they're really good too. Eggs, excellent. Citrus fruit, also really good. Lentils, the list goes on. So this will also be in the article with a few recipes too. So the takeaways from this video and from the article that you can read are to ensure that you have adequate amount of folate in your diet, but preconceptionally to ensure that you do take a supplement that contains folic acid, or as in the case of this one, it's got folic acid as methylfolate, and not to skip on that. So I look forward to seeing you next week with our next nutritional nugget. Have a really good week and take care.